What's up, guys? I'm Joe. Today I'm talking about the new EP from Mike Shinoda, Post Traumatic. So Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park has released these 3 new songs on this EP, Post Traumatic. It's the first release we've seen of some new material from any of the members of Linkin Park since the tragic passing of Chester Bennington. Something I generally didn't expect to see so soon, and something I'm not really doing like a proper review of. It doesn't really make sense to me to affix some sort of rating to this, but it's just something I wanted to, kind of briefly talk about because I think the songs are, very powerful and just really resonate. Chester Bennington's death was really shocking and was kind of tough to deal with in a way I hadn't quite felt with a musician before, I guess. I'm always, bummed out when some of your favorite artists pass. But, Linkin Park was really the first band that got me into rock or metal. It was from going from, 90s pop type stuff to totally changing my outlook on music and what I thought music was or what I thought made good music. And they just led me to so many other bands. So I really grew up on those first 2 Linkin Park albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora. I've always really had a soft spot for the band because of that. And while I hadn't loved everything they had done since then, for the most part, I found some enjoyment out of it, especially albums like The Hunting Party, which I thought was pretty great. Minutes to Midnight has some good moments. Thousand Suns has even grown on me. It's not an album that I loved at first, but over time, as my tastes have kind of changed, I've gone back to that one. So Chester's death was pretty shocking, and you can't even really begin to understand what the band must have gone through with that. And I was surprised to see them rally so quickly and do that show, that tribute show. I actually kind of just got sucked into watching the whole thing because I just thought it did a really good job of getting all sorts of emotions out. The sadness over Chester's passing, but also the joy that came with their music. And I think the performance was pretty astounding. And Mike did an incredible job really taking over the lead role. I thought his vocals, his singing vocals were even pretty good. But it's interesting to see on this EP where he specifically refers to that night in the song over again and how hard it really was and what was really going on during the moment, while he's on stage. And it really was a marathon of a show. I think it was like almost 4 hours long. And as far as you could tell watching, it seemed like at moments it was difficult, but overall he really did a fantastic job with it. But what you're seeing on this track is just, a very raw, emotional outpouring of what was going on in his head at the time, how he feels he could have just broken at any moment, even in moments where he wouldn't have expected. It would all just come crashing down all at once. He talks about the fear and anxiety leading up to the show, how the band was really back and forth on whether they should do it, whether they were ready to do it, and then following the show dealing with the inevitable question of what happens next. And he addresses that on this track with a big sense of anger, which you can't really blame him for. But it's really like just a relief to hear him being so real and open about it. Between the delivery and the lyrics themselves, it just, really hits hard. And I think kind of that what next aspect comes into play with Place to Start, the opening track on here, where you really see him grappling with just being tired of that uncertainty, of not really being sure where Linkin Park can or should go next, and really just wanting a place to start, a place to begin again. And I think this is a nice serving of that. I definitely didn't expect new music so soon. I know they had the new song that he dedicated to Chester during the concert. But I think it's really great that he's able to get these tracks out here, and they are really good. Finally watching as our fall deals with things in a sort of philosophical sense. The way I interpret it, he's kind of grappling with the sort of that's life outlook that some may have. That these things happen, losses happen. He even says, like, to be holding on to something that's, so old at this point. The band's been around for so long. Thinking, is it even right of him to think that was going to last forever? And it's really, it's difficult questions to deal with. I don't think there's a right answer for that. I think this is something that the fans were, looking for and that he needed to do, obviously. And it just feels like a bit of a relief. Not that it makes what happened better, but it's just a sort of baby step out of the sort of darkness of it. And apart from lyrics, I think this is musically a really good, enjoyable EP. It's easy to get lost into because of the lyrical content, but music-wise, I think it's something I would like to see him pursue some more. I know he said on Twitter he has some more tracks, so we'll see what happens with those. Overall, yeah, just an unexpected EP, one that I think is extremely effective. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I just kind of felt the need to get these thoughts out there. the EP just, makes you think about a lot of stuff. So let me know what you think of the tracks in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.